Okay, so this is the concept checker activity. And for this one, it's an is it this or is it that type activity. So pupil number one is looking at the screen and can see all of this. So these are the sentences that they've been using so far. And pupil two has their back to the screen. So let's turn their chair around. And the one looking at the screen is the reader. And we'll read out sentences randomly. So salimos juntos a menudo. And the partner who's looking away has got to come back with nos llevamos bien or nos peleamos. Nos gusta la misma música. Nos llevamos bien. Me roba la ropa. Nos peleamos. So they've got to listen really carefully and respond both in speaking, and if you can get them to do it with the minds as well, it just helps to cement it for them. And in that way, they can show their understanding without needing to use English. You can use this for lots of other things as well, especially for teaching grammar, where at a much earlier stage, say year 7, I might have a list of things with verbs and non-verbs, and they've got to tell me, is it a verb or is it not a verb? They don't need to say what the non-verbs are. We've been through the description of a verb, saying that it normally represents an action. And so that's really what they're thinking of. Does this represent an action or doesn't it? And I would read these out randomly and they come back with verbe or pas un verbe. So quatre, pas un verbe. Chaise, pas un verbe. M'asseoir, verbe. And then when I put them into pairs, which is very, very shortly after, as soon as the idea is established, they need the answers. They always must have the answers when they're doing this sort of activity. One person is looking at the screen, the other person has their back to the screen, looking in the direction, and then they've got all the things to shout out. So, assieds-toi, verbe. 5, pas un verbe. Saute, verbe. Of course, all of these words need to be words that they all know and know really well. So it's always worth looking at the list before you put it up again with a different class, because you may not have used all of those verbs or all of that vocabulary. But that's a concept checker activity, really useful for that sort of thing. So for a 1-minute pair work activity, then they can swap over and carry on. And also, of course, low preparation. So there we are. That's the concept checker.